Hello, fellow reader. Join me, I am your host, Sansi. Dive into the world of magic and explore the most stories full of wonder, fantastical delights. Open your eyes and see the parade come to life. Sansi's parade, Sansi's parade. Join the parade, Sansi's parade, parade. Sansi's parade, Sansi's parade. Join the parade, Sansi's parade.
The Golden Age. Zeus and his mighty folk had not always dwelled amid the clouds on the mountain top. In times long past, a wonderful family called Titans had lived there and had ruled over all the world. There were 12 of them, 6 brothers and 6 sisters, and they said that their father was the sky and their mother the earth. They had the form and looks of men and women, but they were much larger and far more beautiful. The name of the youngest of these Titans was Kronos, and yet he was so very old that men often called him Father Time. He was the king of the Titans, and so, of course, was the king of all the earth besides. Men were never so happy as they were during Kronos' reign. It was the true Golden Age then. The springtime lasted all year. The woods and meadows were always full of blossoms, and the music of singing birds was heard every day and every hour. It was summer and autumn, too, at the same time. Apples and figs and oranges always hung ripe from the trees, and there were purple grapes on the vines, and melons and berries of every kind, which the people had but to pick and eat. Of course, nobody had to do any kind of work in that happy time. There was no such thing as sickness or sorrow or old age. Men and women lived for hundreds of years and never became gray, wrinkled, or lame, but were always handsome and young. They had no need of houses, for there were no cold days nor storms nor anything to make them afraid. Nobody was poor, for everybody had the same precious things: the sunlight, the pure air, the wholesome water of the springs, the grass for a carpet, the blue sky for a roof, the fruits and flowers of the woods and meadows. So, of course, no one was richer than another, and there was no money, nor any locks or bolts, for everybody was everybody's friend, and no man wanted to get more of anything than his neighbors had. When these happy people had lived long enough, they fell asleep, and their bodies were seen no more. They flitted away through the air, and over the mountains, and across the sea, to a flowery land in the distant west. And some men say that, even to this day, they are wandering happily hither and thither about the earth, causing babies to smile in their cradles, easing the burdens of the toil-worn and sick, and blessing mankind everywhere. What a pity it is that this golden age should have come to an end. But it was Zeus and his brothers who brought about the sad change. It is hard to believe, but men say that Zeus was the son of the old Titan king, Cronus, and that he was hardly a year old when he began to plot how he might wage war against his father. As soon as he was grown, he persuaded his brothers, Poseidon and Hades, and his sisters, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia, to join him, and they vowed that they would drive the Titans from the earth. Then followed a long and terrible war. But Zeus had many mighty helpers. A company of one-eyed monsters called Cyclopes were kept busy all the time, forging thunderbolts in the fire of burning mountains. 3 other monsters, each with 100 hands, were called in to throw rocks and trees against the stronghold of the Titans, and Zeus himself hurled his sharp lightning dart so thick and fast that the woods were set on fire and the water in the rivers boiled with the heat. Of course, good, quiet old Kronos and his brothers and sisters could not hold out always against such foes as these. At the end of 10 years, they were forced to surrender and beg for peace. They were bound in chains of the hardest rock and thrown into a prison in the lower worlds, and the Cyclopes and the 100-handed monsters were sent there to be their jailers and to keep guard over them forever. Then men began to grow dissatisfied with their lot. Some wanted to be rich and own all the good things in the world. Some wanted to be kings and rule over the others. Some who were strong wanted to make slaves of those who were weak. Some broke down the fruit trees in the woods, lest others should eat of the fruit. Some, for mere sport, hunted the timid animals which had always been their friends. Some even killed these poor creatures and ate their flesh for food. At last, instead of everybody being everybody's friend, everybody was everybody's foe. So, in all the world, instead of peace, there was war. Instead of plenty, there was starvation, instead of innocence, there was crime, and instead of happiness, there was misery, and that was the way in which Zeus made himself so mighty, and that was the way in which the Golden Age came to an end.
I'm glad you enjoyed that video slash gameplay. Just remember to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Until next time, goodbye!